Welcome into another episode of Still Talking. Today we have the queen of fashion. Well, that's what I'd like to call her. And I think everyone else in the world will call her that after we hear her story. She creates secondhand fashion and turns it into the fashion everyone wants to wear. Welcome in, Jen. You absolute legend. Thank you so much for coming on today.
That's okay. Thank you.
What did you think of the intro?
It's very good. Yeah, making me blush, actually.
Okay, I always do an icebreaker question.
Yeah.
Because I think the main thing I want to put across is no matter how many followers you've got, no matter who you are, you're a human.
Yeah.
If you could bottle up one moment from the last year, what would it be?
Coming out of a very difficult time in my life that I thought I was never going to come out of. I was at rock bottom, and one day it was almost like a light switch. And from that moment, I just kept going up and up and up. So I would bottle that moment up so that when I came to tough times again, I'd open the bottle and go, we've been here before, Jen. We can get out of it again.
That's so interesting. You just take a little sip of it every now and then.
Hopefully not too often because I don't want them times again.
Yeah,
but
you don't want it to, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And now that's settled everything. The reason I asked you that is because I read up you've been divorced.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure on this one, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Like melanoma.
Skin cancer, yeah.
I don't know if you had it or you
I had it.
You had it. I had that down.
Yeah.
You got made redundant.
Yeah.
You suffered one of the worst times of your life by getting, was it the divorce?
Yeah.
Like, you've been through it.
Yeah. But I don't, so I had skin cancer in 2013. I had 2 malignant melanomas on my leg. Went through that, and I had 2 toddlers at the time. I then opened my own cake shop, but I wasn't really mentally prepared because obviously I'd just been through that really bad time and I never dealt with it properly. So I opened this shop as like let's just put a plaster over it and just open this shop. The shop soared. I was selling out every day. I was #1 on TripAdvisor, and then I hit rock bottom.
I think we skip past the things you've been through probably because you've spoke about them a lot.
Yeah.
We skip past that like it's just a thing, but like them things are so powerful into someone's life. They can dictate complete different changes. You can go one way and then you get done again, you go the other way. You can become a different person.
Yeah.
But you still stood strong for your children. And I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but you're an amazing woman, you know.
Thank you, don't, because I'll start crying. I said I wasn't going to cry on this podcast.
No, but, I've seen you tell your story on another podcast, but I think sometimes as interviewers, we're so quick to hear someone's story, we forget to congratulate them on surviving it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that those few times I went through those bad things, I did plaster over it every time. And then this last time when I went through it was probably the worst time going through my divorce. And I just let myself feel it. I thought today, I'm just going to feel it. Tomorrow, let's just see how we feel. We're not going to look any further. And all those things that happened to me have made me the person that I am today.
100%.
I'm much tougher. I'm still quite a sensitive person, so it's not hardened me that I'm very empathetic. I've got a lot of compassion. But now I'm just like, we can do this. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
Experience, give me 10
it's part
divorces.
Of life, yeah.
Give me 15 of them.
It's part of life. And that's
what kept you going?
My kids.
Being a mum.
100% my kids. But even in the bad times, because I want my kids to remember if they go through tough times. My mum's went through this and she still got up, and on days I didn't get up, that's fine, but I want them to know that it's okay today if I don't want to get up. And now they look at me and I'm not crying every day, and I am eating and I'm looking after myself, and my job is going really well. Exactly that. So they know that clouds do come, but they do clear.
With sun.
Yeah.
Can we just take like 30 seconds to just not even say anything, just like how boss that is? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it is important, and I do reflect on that a lot. I think sometimes I give myself a hard time, and my mum says it to me a lot. She reminds me and goes, Jen, you didn't think you were going to come up from that. You thought you were on the floor forever. And I would cry every day, Mum, what if I feel like this forever? What if I never get over this? What if I never smile again? What if I never laugh again? And there's moments now when I can be sitting there crying, laughing, which is usually at the comments on TikTok, where I'm like, I am laughing again, and this is a belly laugh, and I'm crying, laughing, and it's those moments that I think I'm just going to savor this little minute and
You'd bottle it
enjoy
up.
this time. Exactly that. Put it in the
It's
bottle.
so interesting because you speak about being that role model for your children and speak about doing it for the people you love. But I don't think you understand how powerful you are to the people you don't even know.
Yeah.
The people that are watching you and they're like, you go girl, you've done that. And I'm going through that right now.
Yeah.
And I can look at you and see how much you're thriving and how much that means to me to see someone else in a similar situation to me. You've done that.
Yeah. And I think that is a great way to lead on to what my page is about, because I'm all about being real. I love showing the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, I suffer with chronic migraines. I have occipital nerve blocks in my head. I have a monthly injection in my stomach. I have amitriptyline. I have all kinds. I've had them since I was 16. I could be on This Morning one day on a high, posting pictures of this is amazing, I'm having the best day, and the next day I could have a migraine. I share that as well because I want people to look at my page and go, she's normal. I feel like that. And the amount of people that do message me and say, I'm so glad you shared that because that's how I feel today.
Real.
Or that quote could not have come at a better time for me today. And people really love real. And sometimes you don't get that as much on social media.
Social media is fake, and I'll be the first to say it. However, it needs people like you.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're real. And you're I'm having a shit day today. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But tomorrow I might be winning. I think every day's a win, especially when you're real.
Yeah.
Because you're just living.
And I just share everything. I dump all my thoughts on my story, like almost too much. Like, I'm probably an oversharer, but that's who I am. And I think it's okay for people. I want people to leave my page and not feel awful about themselves. I think during COVID, I unfollowed a lot of people that I felt like, why am I looking at this thinking?
Why am I've been doing that. Why am I feeding my brain with this shit?
Yeah. And why am I like, it's okay if you go to Butlins, Skegness on your holiday and you don't go to Dubai. You know what I mean? It's okay if you've had your car for 10 years and your next door neighbour's got a brand new one. It doesn't matter. You know,
that's a content idea for you. This or that. With what people see, because you're already doing it with fashion, or maybe do it with life things.
It's
okay
important.
if you haven't got them £700 webs and you're wearing webs you've had for 10 years. Who cares? You still fit into them. You still like them. They're comfy. So many people in today's world want the best of everything because they think they've got to. So interesting. And we went onto your page, but I want to know, how can you go from cars to clothes because you left a car company? How does that?
The cars are still in there a little bit.
Are they?
Yeah, because I work with Alfa Romeo. I've got an electric car at the minute, which I am obsessed with. I love Alfa Romeo.
Now, you're into the aesthetics or you're into the mechanical side? Or both?
Neither.
Oh, you
I just love cars in general. Do you know what I mean? I just love being comfortable in a car. I love my music. I love being able to get in and put my music on. I love that my kids are comfortable and safe in a nice car. But when I worked in the car industry, that's where I grew up in. I worked at Mercedes. I then got headhunted to go and work at Porsche. I've worked in Honda in Jersey. I loved it because I was on reception and I'm all about giving good service and people leaving and going, sitting out having their dinner and going,
she was boss.
We met this girl today and she went above and beyond, you know what I mean? I told her it was my birthday and she brought me a cake out with a candle in, you know what I mean? It's
so cool.
It was all about, and I felt like I could do that in that industry.
As a customer, I appreciate that.
Oh, the little things are everything.
The little things are everything. Don't sweat the small things, but the little things are everything.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you're interesting me, you know. You're very interesting. And I feel like there's so many sides here and so many emotions you can talk about all day that people are going to be lucky to understand the more you produce content.
Thank you.
Which is very cool. What I want to speak about is you went from cars to clothes. Was it made redundant?
Yeah.
You got made redundant in the car company. And obviously now you obviously do a lot of clothes. You know, someone might be in that situation now and they might be like, oh my God, this is the worst day of my life of being made redundant from my job. How did you find something you love from a terrible situation?
I think you've got, like, I'm 40 in August, and I would say it was only 5 years ago when I started Charity Shop Girl that I realised where I was meant to be in life. And it was when I was stood in a charity shop in the back, sorting through donations. And I had this moment where I thought, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. And that was come out of a bad situation. I was pregnant, I got made redundant, and people normally go, well, that can't happen. But they closed the dealership, so it could happen. And it was my 13-year-old daughter who said, why don't you start doing TikToks? I think because she thought it was hilarious, which I am. And she wanted me to like show what I was getting from the charity shop and styling. I just posted one video and then I just started thinking, I'm enjoying this. People are enjoying this. And then it all come from that. I think it's difficult it will just happen. It will, and it doesn't matter if it's now, if it's when you're 60. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like there's a thing, isn't there, where like Vera Wang, who's in fashion, she made her first item when she was 60. You know, it doesn't matter. But I think that you just have to try different things. Say that to my kids all the time. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you're happy. And it might take you 20 years to find out what you love, but there'll come a moment when you think, this is it. This is my passion. This is what I love.
So interesting. That doesn't matter the age. I think there's a principle or a lesson in that of like, just keep trying, keep experiencing. Experience. Do you ever think like, this is going completely off topic, but today's world takes away experiencing?
Yeah.
Like, there's too much, too many hoops to jump through.
I also think we're also always being told that that's not cool or you shouldn't be doing that. That's, again, opinions. What I talk about is I'm wearing this cardigan today because I love it. Now, I might walk down the street and 20 people might go, what the hell is that? My page is about, I don't want people to copy our dress. I want people to see that you have your own style. This is what you love. Be yourself. Wear what you love. Do what you love. It doesn't matter if other people don't get it. And that's like about phones, isn't it? We can be told, this is the new phone out now, but your phone might work perfectly.
Yeah.
But then you think,
comparison.
But I need the new phone. I need the new car. You know, why aren't I doing this? Why aren't I doing that? I think that stops people pursuing their passions because, you know, there could be someone out there who loves something but is worried that their friends are going to go, why are you doing that?
What's that?
Yeah.
Not even the friends, sometimes the family
exactly
or the partner.
That. And it's just a case of letting that go. And if you love it and you, like I drink a really old drink from like the 70s and I have 2 olives in it and people probably go, like, who does she think she is? I don't care. I love it. And loads of people will go, God, I remember that. And that's what it's about. It's just about, this is who I am. I'm unapologetically myself. That hasn't always been there. That's come as I've got older. And my dad used to say, as you get older, you'll stop caring what people think. And I used to think, when is it going to happen? And it has happened.
It happened. I think it happened to the divorce.
Yeah, and I also think it happened when I realised that when I was at rock bottom, there was only a certain amount of people that were helping me through it. And some of the people that I thought would have helped me through it almost were benefiting off my struggle more than anything. They were feeding off and they fell off the...
they fell off the bandwagon. Yeah. They see you later.
But it was when I realised that where are all the people now? So in future, I'm just going to make myself happy. Because I spent a lot of time like making sure that other people were happy. But during those times, I might have been the most unhappy person ever. So it's about not being a people pleaser. It's about pleasing yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure you're pouring into yourself before you...
You're a very valuable woman in terms of the knowledge you hold because of the experiences you had.
And that comes from struggle, isn't it? My mum always says where there's struggle, there's
strength. If you wouldn't have had your divorce, you would have still been in a curious state of maybe not doing what you love now. Like you wouldn't have been as evolved maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, changed me definitely as a person. Made me stronger and made me feel like I'm not being selfish, but I am just going to do the things that I want to do now and please myself.
It's cool that you can do that as a human being. When you were talking about your jacket, I was in Miami recently and I seen a jacket and I wanted it and it was so different. It was $100.
That's a bargain actually. Secondhand. Like
vintage.
It
went like a Dior or it went like mad crazy. It was the craziest jacket ever. Like here was leather, here was like fur.
Oh yeah, it sounds a bit of me.
Oh, I want to go back and get it. And I never got it because I was like, everything was going through my head. Imagine me walking in crocky with that on. Like it was, I'll be honest, like it was crazy colours, but it was me.
But it's very difficult to that's not an easy thing to do, to be able to go.
To be aware of it.
So, like, I'm not, but you are aware of it, that's a big thing.
It was so me, I wanted it. And you speaking about your jacket, it was kind of like this jacket, just not all like one colourish. And it was so me, because I seen it and it was like my personality. It was like, one bit here is leather, which is like the aggressive part.
Yeah.
Then one bit here was like fairy. It's like the friendly, lovey part. And I was just like, and it was right in here.
You need to get in the charity shops then. If you love stuff like one-off things like that, your vintage and charity shopping.
Would you ever start your own charity shop?
Yeah.
When?
As soon as possible, if I could. There's a lot of red tape, I think, around starting your own charity shop. But I would do it for migraine or I'd do it for melanoma. I would 100% do it.
Would you talk to me and do it?
Yeah.
We can actually have a conversation.
100% I would.
I love investing in people. And your heart and soul's in charity. And so is mine.
Yeah.
Not just in the way you do charity, but mine's in the people.
Yeah. That's
Them
why,
two things come together very well.
That also is why I charity shop. Lots of people go to me, yeah, but you still shop in other shops or your kids still have plastic toys. I'm not about sustainability. Yes, I'm helping with sustainability, but it's not my lane. So I don't talk about it because it could potentially open up a can of worms. I'm not educated enough to talk about sustainability. I charity shop because that money, I'm an ambassador for the air ambulance and I spent a day with them at their helipad and they told me that £5 spent in an air ambulance puts cannulas on an air ambulance. These charities are not government funded. So us
many of them
spending £15 in one hospice shop pays for a patient's meals all day. That patient could at some point be our family, friends, our dog. They have, a veteran. It's us shopping in charity shops benefits charities more than you could ever know. And that's what my voice is. I want to be the voice of charity retail, that you are making a big difference by spending as little as £5.
I'd love to do something with you. I'd love to start a charity. I've been wanting to start my own charity for a long time. If it works for both ways,
yeah, 100%.
I'd love to come in together and create one ship and go forward. And because the way I see it is like, you can push it in one direction and I can push it in another, but these still marinate together because people. We care about people. It's so interesting. You're cool, you're a cool mum. Your son's probably going to watch this. You're a cool mum. You're telling me about your son saying like you've got brownie points as a mother now.
I have, definitely.
On Stillryan's podcast.
He didn't believe me when I went in on his Xbox. I went, you know this
What's your son's name?
Joe.
What's happening, Joe? How are we, brother? Your mum's an absolute legend and I love it. Just thought I'd let you know, Joe.
I've also just got more cool points for that now.
You've got more cool points. What does the cool points get you?
I think I'm already cool anyway. Don't want to blow my own trumpet here, but they do think I'm cool.
A cool mother.
Because I go to some events sometimes. I'm not a big event goer that, it's not my favourite thing to do is what I do, but I go to them occasionally and I'll take like little videos and they'll go on my story and my son or daughter will message me and go, do you know who that is? And I'm like, no idea. And they're like, oh my God, that's so-and-so. I have no idea.
Cool mum all over.
Another little cool mum.
Back onto the charity shop stuff. Did you ever face stick? Like, do you face stick? Like, I feel like there's a stigma around charity shops. Have you ever received that stick or do you feel that stigma of like, oh, you scruff, you're in a charity shop. You know that horrible like...
I don't think that's there anymore. If I'd have done it 20 years ago, 100%. There's a stigma of people who wouldn't go in a charity shop or be seen dead in a charity shop. And I think that's because of charity retail has upped its game massively.
Has it?
These shops are like boutiques now. They're heavily merchandised. I've just opened one in Jersey at the weekend. And
for someone else?
For a charity.
Yeah.
Jersey Hospice. You would walk in there and if they took all the signage down, you'd think you were in a vintage shop in London on Brick Lane. They have upped their game massive. They're coming, and the stuff that they're getting donated now, because we're over consuming, the stuff that they've got is better. 30 years ago it did used to be old dusty, bobbly old men's joggers and whatever, but secondhand now has become more of a thing. Sustainability is more of a thing. People are watching their money.
You're so right about the over consuming.
We do overconsume, and that's because of, again, social media plays a big part in that, because it's like, and I do ads, but I'm very conscious of ads that I do. My ads obviously pay my bills, pay for me to take my children on holiday, put food on my table, but I'm also very conscious of the ones that I do. There's certain ones that I won't do. I'm not going to promote teeth whitening. I probably would never promote supplements because it's a personal thing. Yeah,
you do ads that resonate with you. You don't just do ads for the money, even though they help the money. The money helps.
It's got to be right for my followers.
It's got to be right.
I love my followers like they're my family.
That's longevity. That's where 100%. You'll last. Because the creators
they trust me.
Yeah. You're not going to feed them shit. Imagine if you came out one day and was like, hey guys, look at this new dog toy. Or like something crazy. It would make no sense. Everyone would just be like, oh my God, she's gone. She's gone. Sell out. Follow.
And I probably could
I'll probably
make
click
more
the link
money.
for you and buy the dog toy.
Yeah, I'll save it. I probably could make loads more money, but it's not. It is about money, obviously, to pay my bills,
Especially
like
when
any
you've got
job.
children and you've got food.
But that is not my sole purpose of doing it. And if I get something, I want to use it for a bit, and I want to, like, I've done work with Amazon Music. My page, I talk about music a lot. It's my beating heart
Music's
music.
so cool.
It's everything.
I used to
Music's
do a
got
lot
me
about
through
music,
some
but I just
bad
got
times.
There's an
Bad
emotion
times.
for every
Yeah,
genre.
there is.
I agree massively. But I just got to a point where I was giving out too much of me interest for music and I weren't enjoying it anymore.
Yeah.
So I just cut it off
Kept
completely.
it to yourself more. Yeah.
Exactly.
More of your little
Gotta
thing.
give it
Yeah.
to me. Gotta give something to me.
Yeah.
You said the stigma around charity shops have changed from compared to 20 years to now. It's not there anymore. What was the change, do you think? Why is it different now?
I think the
Like in people, I mean, though,
I
like
want to say like Gen Z, but I don't know whether I'm saying the right thing.
Gen
Next
Z?
time. Gen Z, yeah.
Gen Z, have you really just
I know,
said
because
that?
I'm old, aren't I? Leave me.
Have you really?
I've just lost the cool moments.
You just lost like 5 points. No way. You gained like 23 and you just lost 5. You're on 18 now.
Gen Z. I used to live in America, so
You
I
just
do
lost
get the
another
Z
2
and the
because you've
Z.
said it. You just lost another. Stop saying Gen Z.
I think that they're more sustainable. I feel like my face is going red now. I feel like they're more sustainable. They're more interested in looking after the planet. So when they started changing their ways of thinking, I also think COVID played a massive part.
Oh,
Because
affordability.
I also think that people realised that that wasn't what was important. It was people's health. It was that everyone was okay. And when we stripped all of that back and we were all just at home, you know, fighting for toilet roll, we realised that that wasn't what was important. What was on the doorstep, what was on the drive, what was hanging up in your wardrobes. It was about our little... We couldn't have those fancy holidays. It was what you've got. So I think people now are looking after what they've got more.
Yeah, being more precious over it, the
Yeah.
bog roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Only
Which
using
was a
one
big thing.
piece
Yeah.
instead of 2. Just matters, little things like that.
Tell that to my kids. We go through about 3 months today.
I think social media plays a big impact, though. You're so right with, oh my God, he's got the new this on. He's in the sun, looking fresh. She's wearing this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you hear that new statistic? This is completely off like topic, but like so much percent of Coachella people have you bought the tickets on finance.
Yeah. And they'll have bought like clothes that they can't afford.
That's what I was getting onto. Like the clothes everyone's wearing, like the freshest stuff, and like they're looking amazing. But like, it's such a bad
I know, but
addiction.
I remember this story and it is funny, but it's not funny. I remember seeing a lad at the bus stop on Breck Road and he had Balenciagas on at the bus stop and I thought, that makes no sense to me. Like, why
That's
not?
so today's world.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no one... Put your money somewhere else.
Why would you spend £700 on a pair of shoes when you could spend it on driving lessons?
Exactly that.
And learn to drive and have a car and be independent. Or just £700 on, I don't know,
it just
a bike.
It's not even just about like getting the bus, is it? It's just that whole... It just... I mean, I've got expensive trainers on today, but...
Yeah, but I spoke to a friend years ago and they were like, they deal with it, going to see people in that and helping them in people in need. And they were explaining that like sometimes these people in need will be in need that they've got no food or money in that.
Yeah.
But they'll have expensive shoes on and they'll have the best gear on. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
The priorities are completely messed
That's
up.
what I meant by it's all about priorities.
Yeah, it's not about getting the bus and the car. We both weren't meaning that.
But I also think that like a lot of that comes from people pleasing and thinking that that's what makes you happy. Like when I worked at Mercedes, I had a Mercedes car. When I left Mercedes and I was out of work for a little bit, my dad got me a Toyota Yaris. I didn't lose any of my friends or people didn't speak to me because I didn't have the Mercedes anymore and I had a Toyota Yaris. That's what I'm saying. Like, people genuinely don't care. I don't think I've ever said, oh God, look at him in that new car. Have you seen his new car? Or did you see how expensive his trainers were? Or, you know, that I made, and even they're not things that you remember. When I got diagnosed with skin cancer, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I am a bit of a worrier and a catastrophizer. And I remember thinking, God, if I died now, would like, have I done enough? Have I had enough? Have I had enough? I didn't start thinking, what about them £700 trainers upstairs? What about my Mercedes? What about exactly that? They're not important things, but a lot of it is due to thinking that it's what you think that other people want to see, but really they don't.
I feel like there isn't many of you in the world though, you know, and I'm not even just saying this, but for what you understand and how you feel about things, I can understand it and I do agree. But with you nearly losing your life and going through the things you've done,
Yeah.
that's not something everyone can speak about and understand, because I feel like it takes a really impactful event like that
Yeah.
for you to fully understand what really matters.
Yeah, I do agree
Do
with
you know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you've nearly died.
Yeah.
That's insane to say. And you're still here breathing, you've been a boss mum, you're fantastic. But if you never went through that, you wouldn't have learned the lesson of what really matters
Yeah.
as valuable. Like, everyone can sit here and I understand my family's the most thing that matters, but there'll be days I get sidetracked and I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But like, the event you've been through's really made you realise
Yeah.
what matters.
And realise what matters.
It's like
Yeah, I do agree with
sassiness.
that.
It's like walking through the corridor and everyone's
Yeah.
like, fucking hell, who's that? Who's that? You know on that though? That's the
Yeah, I
energy I'm
don't
getting.
feel like that though myself. Still have like days. I've terrible imposter syndrome. I'm still trying to manage that, but I also
How do
like
you manage
that.
it?
I don't want to lose it either.
Why?
Because I kind of like that about me, because I don't want it ever almost be too big for my boots. I do have these little moments when I think, even when I go on this morning, like I'm going on this morning next week, that'll be
So
my
cool, by
fifth
the
time
way.
I've been on.
We'll talk about it after this.
But every time I go on, I still, like, you could hear my heart beating. I'm sweating. I'm so focused. I don't speak to anyone.
Have you ever filmed a video when you're in there?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
And posted it?
No.
Post it. It'd be so helpful to people.
Like, and then I have these moments where I look around and think, like, why is this girl from Not a Screen here, like, who just shares about charity shopping? Why do they want me back for the 5th time? Why are they calling me back? You know, and then I might say something and then I'd think about it all the way home. Why did I say that like that? Why did I do that? Why did I?
It's so normal. And I can tell you right now, I have it. Imposter syndrome's normal.
Yeah.
Especially when you come from the background and the environment we've came from. It's normal. The one things I do to deal with it is like, I'll just reiterate to myself, if there's a mirror, I'll do it. If there isn't, I'll just say to myself, I belong here. I am successful. I am working hard. I am this.
Yeah.
And I say it to myself, because them 2 words, I am, are the most 2 powerful words in the world, because whatever comes after them, you are.
Yeah.
So you go, I am, and say whatever you need to say. And just reassure yourself and reaffirm it that you are fantastic and you belong here. Take a big deep breath and then go.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
You should, you know.
Because it can overwhelm me a lot of times.
So overwhelming.
I've texted my manager so many times and said, like, they actually want me to be here, because I feel so out of my depth here. I've probably got the lowest amount of followers. No one probably even knows who I am. And then I have these little moments where, like, it takes over me, and then...
You're half making me anxious now.
But you
do. It's so normal.
It is normal. But I kind of like, sometimes I think that keeps me on my toes a bit as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be that person who's like, God, look at me. Like, do you know who I am? I don't think I'll ever be that person, but...
I love how much of an advocate you are for charity shops. What's your opinion on fast fashion brands?
Again, I don't really talk much about sustainability. I don't shop at those places simply because...
maybe not even fast fashion, just like high-end fashion compared to charity shops. I know there's a lot of high-end in charity shops, but you know the difference.
The reason why I don't like high-end that much or high street shops is because I don't talk about trends. And I think that trends are a big reason why people don't feel confident, is because you could love leopard print and it could be your favourite thing ever, and you could be like walking around the shops and your leopard print feeling great, and then you go home and read the magazine and it says leopard print's out. Like, this leopard print's so last season. This is in now. And then that could make someone feel like...
Terrible.
But I love leopard print. Like, it's my thing. That's who I am. Whereas I feel charity retail doesn't do that.
Doesn't shine.
You can create your own style. I love shoulder pads. Shoulder pads are cool in the 80s.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
Can me and you go into a charity shop and you like style me out?
Yeah, I would love that.
Let's do it. I promise you, we'll put it in the calendar and we'll go.
I absolutely would love that.
We'll go and we'll create content on it and we'll just have a laugh.
And I think about the high street is affordability. I do think the prices are outrageous of what we get charged.
Yeah.
And I think that if people feel like they can't afford it, then they see someone in it on social media and they think, but I can't afford, that's not, like if someone shows a handbag on social media and they're like, oh, I've got this. And they're like, it's the new Louis Vuitton. It was like £8,000 or something. People just makes you feel like this big. Whereas if they watch it and I go, like, this cardigan was £10.
So cool.
And my jeans were like £4 from Bernardo's. And, you know, all my outfits, people feel like it's achievable, not because they can copy it, but I'm going to go and have a little look in the charity shops. And then they message me and go, I'm going to a wedding next week. I've just spent £20. I've got a dress, a bag and a pair of shoes. How good is that person going to feel?
How good does that make you feel?
Broke the bank. Yeah, I know. And I get gifted a lot of stuff, like shampoos and stuff. And if there's no obligation to post, I don't usually post it.
I always rob my girlfriend shampoo's like this purple one. It smells lovely.
Oh, I know which one you mean. I've got like enough shampoo to last me till.
She has a proper
about
purple
10 years.
shampoo though for her hair.
That's what I use, purple shampoo.
It's proper though
And
for
I bet
her
she's
head.
livid that you use it, because if I noticed that my kids
Shout
have
at me
used
because
that-
it's expensive.
Yeah, I've got an expensive shower gel, and I can tell if.
She doesn't let me use it.
Yeah,
It's only if I stay in her house I'll use it.
I'm on her side. I'm sorry,
Why?
because it's
Shampoo?
not okay. I know, but you just don't need the good shampoo that we use.
It's shampoo. there's nothing like.
I'm on her side.
Okay. I obviously, podcast
Yeah,
producers on her
exactly.
side too. Oh my. She has got more hair than me, so she deserves more shampoo. But I mean, at the same time, I just use a little bit.
I know, but stop using the good stuff. You don't need it.
So what happens to me then? I just get given the bad stuff.
You won't notice the difference.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true. Sure, back and
It proves it, because we have a shampoo and conditioner. Men have a thing that says hair, body, face.
I just all in one.
Exactly.
I
That
can-
says a lot, really.
for
that
a lot
you
of
don't
years.
need
For
the
a lot of
individual
years,
products.
I was using shower gel to
For
wash
hair,
my hair in there.
And now you're
bad, that,
living the
innit?
dream using all the fancy stuff.
No, I only stay in it like once a month. I get wash
A little
my head once.
treatment.
Yeah, once a month. If I was someone who's never shopped in a charity shop before, what would something you'd say to persuade me to give it a try?
Charity shops can be very overwhelming if you have never charity shopped before and you're used to shopping on the high street,
Yeah, I've never
because
charity shop before.
do you like TK Maxx?
I'm not a shopper.
Aren't you?
I promise you, yeah. If I
You're an
went,
onliner.
if I went in a place to be gifted stuff, I'd wear the same shorts and top like
Oh, okay.
for 40 years.
So I'm trying to persuade you to go to a charity shop. Then that's
I
a
promise
totally
you,
different
right?
question to someone who doesn't like any shopping.
No, I mean not just me personally. I mean the broad angle of like people.
You just don't enjoy shopping, or
No, if my girlfriend wants to go shopping, I say no, I hate it. Because I think it's wasted time.
do you? But you
Well, this is
can't.
going to be an argument, not going to be a feisty
No,
one, innit?
because I have got something to challenge you with there.
What?
You've just told me that you had a bit of an emotional moment with a jacket in Miami, which tells me that there's a little connection there with fans and stuff. Now, if you went into a charity shop and found this jacket and you put a jacket on and you put on, you thought, I actually feel the dog's bollocks.
It's how
in
you
this.
feel, yeah,
I
I get
feel
it.
amazing. I love it. And you go home and you hang it up and you're like, can't wait to wear that. And then when you wear it, you're like, I love it. And everyone's complimenting you. And then you go, you know what? £8 Bernardo's, love it. That's where the love comes in. But because you're imagining going into a shop, looking around, going, it looks all the same. Like nothing's exciting me. It's the same as what I've got home, but in a different colour. That's the difference in charity shopping. You don't know what you're going to find.
Well, maybe
It's
that's
all
the difference
personal.
I need. Because you walk in every shop and it's just the same.
Yeah, but you don't get, that's why a charity shop's different, because you don't know what you're looking for. And I know I will not have the same wardrobe as anybody else. I know that I've never been to an event since I was 17 or party and someone has had the same outfit on as me.
That is cool. Do you know what? I want to challenge the brands to. Like every brand that's well known. I want to challenge them to something. I want you to create something that's like super, super affordable.
Yeah.
How cool would that be as a challenge? Like all brands make money now, don't
And they could afford it because of how cheap
Exactly.
it cost them
That's what
to
I
make
was about
most
to
of the
say. All
stuff.
brands make money.
Yeah.
What if you did like a limited range? Like every brand in the whole entire world did a limited range. So there'd be enough to consume. And there'd be enough then secondhand too if someone
Yeah.
wanted to get rid of it. That was super affordable. And it weren't always a profit.
I think the problem with that is that they would still go to the wrong places to get it made, which is what would keep the cost down. That's where the problems are, isn't it?
It's such a
'cause of where
toxic
they're-
cycle, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, it's never going to stop, is it? It's never going to stop.
No. And I'm just hoping that I'm just that's why I don't talk about sustainability, because I'm not going to be able to make a
It's a
change.
can of worms,
but
innit?
it is a can of worms, and I try not to open it. I've already opened one about 2 years ago. I said, I'm not really a massive fan of purple. And then about 2 years later, I wore a purple jacket and someone put, what about that time when you said you didn't like purple? So I try my best not to trip myself up. But
It's funny because I don't know if I've tripped myself up because I'm like, about the brands I work with, I love them, but I just know someone like me 45 years ago couldn't
no,
afford
because you're not
it.
slagging them off. You're just being honest about most of the stuff I wear. I'm not buying, so don't look at me and think he's got loads of money. I think people do think what we do, we're absolutely loaded.
Yeah, like, I promise everything I've got on, oh my God. Like, they let me check my underpants. Oh my God, everything I've got on has been gifted. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's all right because you're being honest about it.
I know, but
open.
that's cool. I see that as cool.
And obviously brands want to see you in it, so it's a compliment, isn't it? They want you
Yeah.
to wear it.
Yeah, but that's what I want to say to the community.
But I
Everything
just
I've got
wish
on is
that you
gifted.
had that jacket on from Miami today. I know. Did you take a picture of it?
Oh, I don't think I did.
It's not okay.
The woman took a picture because she had to ask the owner how much it was. I was like, how much is this? I'll buy it. And she was like, I've got to text the owner. Text the owner, $100. It's like 80 quid.
80 quid, yeah. Bargain.
Oh, it was a steal of a jacket. This jacket was in...
And you know you'll never see it ever again.
Oh, well. Well, because if I see it on someone, I'm going to attack them. I'm going to rag it off the back and I'm going to buy it off them there and then. But I will see it again. It was in Miami, Woodburn. If someone wants to buy it, message me and I'll buy it off you and I'll get it shipped over. That's real life.
Oh, I can't stop thinking of you getting choked out by Paddy the Baddie now for some reason. Because
Why?
that's where you went over.
Oh, because
that
of Miami?
video, like, I felt claustrophobic and like I held my breath the whole time I was watching it. I don't think I could even, for content, ask Paddy the Baddie to choke me out.
I promise you right now, like, it is... You're putting yourself in the hands of a killer. Like,
Yeah.
they are trained to just go and smash whoever's opposite in the cage.
So I hope your followers know what you do for them. What you put yourself
I
through.
put myself on the line for the content. For the content. You're so right, though. But that's my motto, like, just do it.
Yeah. And I dance a lot on my videos. I love music. And at the beginning of my videos, I do a little dance. I do my cooking videos where I dance. And I used to like cringe behind them and think, oh God, do I want to post that? But that's me. That is me. And now when I do it, someone will message and go, I forgot all about that song. I've now want to go in the kitchen and cook my dinner and with my music on, or I love your energy and I wish I had the confidence, and it's like, it helps. So then it makes me think, I don't care now, because that's just me. If you don't like
it's
it's going out there.
And that's the nice thing about you. You're so you, and there's nothing else. There's no agenda. There's no nothing. How does it feel that you've built such a strong community in the things you love?
Really special. Really special. And that's what pours into me the most, I'd say, is because I, a long time ago, wanted to be someone else. I'd look and think, why don't I look like that? Why isn't my hair like that? Why haven't I got abs? Why don't I look like that 6 weeks after having a baby? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like that? I wish it was a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that. When I started Charity Shop Girl and my page was growing off the back of me being myself, those people don't realise that they made me love myself. Like, not in an obnoxious way.
You just made me realise something. Oh my God. You just made me realise something.
Go on.
With the growth of everything that you've done, I've just related to that. It makes you love yourself
Yeah,
more because you're accepted for being you.
And these people just love you no matter what. If I make a mistake, slip over, or I say something wrong, or, anything, somewhere where I can go and be unapologetically myself, and they like it, which is why now I'm not so consumed by a number of followers. I used to be like, oh, I'm nearly on 10,000, oh, I'm nearly on 20,000. I don't care now, because as long as the people around me, they care about me. They ask about my migraines, my kids. If I don't post on my stories for 12 hours, I'll get, are you all right?
Where is she?
Are you okay? I was checking, have you got a migraine? Are you all right? What's happening? Because they care about me, and that is really special. And I never thought I would ever love myself. Not in a like obnoxious way. Just as in, I know what I bring to the table. This is who I am. I'm not going to change. I don't want to be a bit more of that, a little bit less of this. I just want to be.
That's amazing. When did you realise, like, oh my, I've actually got something here? Like, we're building here and we've got something.
Probably a year ago, when I took the time.
To this day?
No, my memory isn't that good. I think when I went through that bad time and I took time off social media. I took about 6 weeks off social media.
Why?
Just because my head, I needed to focus on myself. And I weighed about 6.5 stone. I was posting videos and people were commenting saying, like, are you okay? And I was like, stop commenting on my weight. But I was in a very dark place. I took that 6 weeks. It was coming from a place
of care, but you were in that much of a dark place, you didn't see it.
I just was like, why is everyone attacking me? And then I took this, and when I came back, everyone treated me like I never even left. And then it was when I realised, I have actually got a community of people here now. Like, I'm not just flash in the pan. Well, I might be a flash in the pan because anything can happen, can't it, in this industry? But I just picked up where I left off. which is really
That's like,
special,
you know,
isn't it?
something real.
Yeah.
It's not like people only come
They
to you
waited
because
for
they
me.
see like a
Yeah.
trend.
No, they waited
They
for me.
wait for
They
you.
wanted me to be okay.
It's cool.
And then as they watched me, my weight picked up. My spark was coming back. I was doing they were like, your spark's come back, I can see it. And even my mum said, you can see it, Jen. You're like, even though then they didn't know how sad you were, they could see it in your videos because they knew you.
You mention your kids, but you
Yeah.
also mention your mum a lot.
Yeah.
Speak to me about her.
She's just my best mate. And she's probably
Can
more
see the
my best
sparkle
mate
in your
than
eye
yeah.
when you speak about her.
She's probably more my best mate than my mum, if you know what I mean. Like, she knows there's not one secret that my mum doesn't know. Like, I tell her everything. We got the same sense of humour. And one thing about my mum is I've made some mistakes that later on she's known that it's been a mistake, but she never tells me. And I think that that's also what's made me as my mum.
Explain to me what you mean. Like, she knows you've done something, but she'll never...
Yeah, not like
negative for
murdered
you.
someone or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like,
that was like a proper police investigation. So what have you done? Explain to me right now.
No
I have got police on the phone.
Like, she might guide me a little bit. She doesn't tell me what to do. She doesn't judge anything that I do, even if I know that she thinks, oh, I'm not sure about that one, Jen. You know what I mean? But then she knows that I'm learning, and I have learnt from it. Whereas I think if I had like a helicopter parent, you know, like that's what they call, do like hover around and go, don't do that, don't do this. I don't know how to do an impression of a helicopter, but she just lets me be myself, and I can talk to her about anything.
You love her so much.
Yeah, I
don't you?
do. Yeah.
You're a mummy's girl.
Yeah. And my dad as well. My dad, they parent two totally different ways. My dad's like my rock. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I go to my dad, and
Because he's the tough leather.
Yeah.
He'll hold you. He's like the massage chair in the airport.
100%.
You're on that.
Yeah.
Like, he's cold at first,
Yeah.
but when you cuddle into him, he's like, oh,
And he's
thanks, Dad.
like, he's always there. And if something's broke, he lives around the corner from me. If something's broke, and I go, Dad,
He's
my
the tough
dishwasher's at the door. My dad's here, he's fixing the dishwasher.
Oh, Dad,
already.
Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a cuppa.
And he knows the answer to everything. And I'm a emotional thinker. So not anymore, but I used to act on my emotions and then afterwards go, shit, shouldn't have done that, but I was pissed off or I was upset. And my dad will like, let's talk about it, dissect it. And then I leave my dad's and I think, oh, maybe I'll sleep on it. You know what I mean? Whereas normally I knee jerk and go, and then next day I go, ooh.
Do you ever think about the part of life we lose people?
Yeah.
Does it scare you?
Yeah. I'm coming up to that now. My dad's not well at the minute, actually. I know. And he's 70. I think my dad's 75. Sorry, Dad,
don't.
I forgot that wrong. And
Don't.
I've actually never lost. I've lost like my granddad when I was younger, which is almost like the norm, isn't it? You lose your grandparents. I've never had to deal with my parents being really ill or losing anybody really close, or, you know, I did lose my father-in-law who I was very close to. That's probably been the hardest loss I've ever had, the closest loss. But I think you go through stages in your life where you go to lots of engagements, baby showers, weddings, and then you get to an age when funerals. And it's constantly, like I see on Facebook, like friends I went to school with, their mums or dads dying, and then it started like, this is getting a bit close now. This is getting really close. And then my dad's actually going to hospital on Thursday.
Oh,
and
I wish him the best.
And it's like,
my mum and dad are 60 odd too, and I'm just like,
I know.
I feel sick.
My mum's 10 years younger than my dad. She's had a couple of health scares recently, and you start thinking, even like they're talking to me about wills now, and I go, no, we're not talking about that. They go, well, we have to talk about it. No, we don't.
They do in their world, but in your head, you're like, no, I want to
No,
hold on to you
yeah.
for as long as I can. Oh, don't. If
I know.
breaks me.
And that fear of not having them there.
And not telling them enough, and not saying like, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and tell
And my
them
dad
that I
says,
fucking love
you
them.
know, my dad never used to say it as much, but now something happened the other day. I think it was when I'm working with eBay at the minute, and it's a huge job for me. Like, it's a huge deal. And I remember sitting on a sofa, and he stood up, sorry, Scouse people will be like, why is she calling it a sofa? Stood up, and he went, Jennifer, I'm so proud of you. And I literally got goosebumps because it's not something he says all the time. So I know that when he says it, it's like, this, he means it. And then he texts me and I still have the text. I'm going to screenshot it and I'm going to print it off. And it said, I love you more. It was just randomly in the night. It's about to go to bed and it said, I love you more than you will ever know.
That scares me, because that's coming from a place like he doesn't know if he's got much longer to say that, and that scares me. Because, I hate it.
But I also feel like that...
I hate that, but I love it at the same time.
Yeah. And I think that, 2 years ago, if you'd have asked me that question, I'd have probably been sat here paralysed thinking, I'm paralysed with pain here, I don't know what I'm going to do. But because I've been through, I think, bad times, I feel like now, Jen, you can get through that. And I think that my mum and dad probably feel safe in the knowledge that she'll be all right. She looks after herself. She's got her 3 children. She's been through bad times. She'll survive. I'd rather that than the other thing of my mum and dad thinking she's not going to cope if something happens to us. As a child, you need your parents to know that I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll cry a lot. I know. And I see it so much on Facebook now. I log on all the time and say someone's died, or someone I even went to school with died, or...
I hate the thought of it all. My mum and dad mean so much to me.
And me.
Nasty, nasty feeling to even think of, but it's reality and we've got to speak and think about it.
And I think about it more when you become a parent, because then you think one day my kids are going to have that.
They're going to go through the exact same. And you kind of don't want to wish anything like what you've been through on someone, but it does get them ready for the next challenge.
And I'm all about showing them, like, days where my son, to help me a lot, my 17-year-old son, if I was crying, he'd tell I'd been crying, he'd come in, he'd sit with me and he'd be like, are you okay? And I wouldn't go, yeah, I'm okay. I'd go, no, I'm not today. I'm having a really bad day today. Because it's important, because, again, when they're older and maybe I'm not here, they'll think, oh, my mum was all right. Remember that day she had a really bad day and she still...
But also what you're doing there is teaching them to be honest and talk to someone. Like, I am having a bad day. No, I am having a bad, like, just let go and just be honest. And you're so good.
Thank
you are. You're so good. And we're coming to the end now and I've got some quick fire questions, but I want to tell you, like, you're a super, super amazing woman.
Thank you.
And I feel like it's cool to remind people sometimes, because we're so busy and so working or creating something, doing whatever life it puts in front of us, forget to smell the flowers.
Yeah. And I also want to throw that back to you as well, because I think it's so nice and refreshing for someone to be so complimentary. And I think that we don't compliment people as much as we do.
Doing.
Yeah. And also we're very easy to look at the negatives, but what you've done is some of the negatives turned into positives, and that's a really special quality.
I'll always reframe them for you. Yeah. Always. Everything's a positive. Some quick fire questions. You ready for them?
I'm scared.
Best charity shop find ever?
This 2-piece black suit that I still haven't worn yet weighed a ton. It was like knitted, and my followers also were all like, when are you selling that? And I was like, never. Gorgeous. £10.
One piece of fashion advice everyone should follow.
Be yourself. Wear what you love.
Wear what you love. I like it. One celebrity you'd love to take charity shopping?
James Martin.
Fair enough.
I like to name drop him a lot because I'm in love with him.
Okay, that's fair enough. What's the one thing you never thought you'd buy secondhand?
Furniture.
Oh, so cool. That's so cool.
I know, everyone was thinking I was going to say underwear.
You enjoyed today?
I did, yes. I've got a little something for you, actually.
Do you know? She's got it customised. Oh my God, she bought me an egg.
Which camera should I put it on?
That's your one. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Couldn't have come on Good Friday without an Easter egg.
Oh my God, I haven't got one for you.
That's all right.
Let's bad that in it. I'm going to cherish that tonight with a cup of tea.
I went in the shop. I live in this little market town.
Charity shop?
No, it's not secondhand.
There you go. Someone at it. Wait there.
Yeah, it's from last year.
Yeah, date 2021. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell the people where they can find you.
On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, everything.
What's the name?
Charity Shop Girl, Jen Graham.
And we're going to do some content in the future, so let us know down below what you want to see. I am going to go on a charity shop. Thank you so much for watching.